As I mentioned off the top, Giving Tuesday is this week, and as we head into December, it is a time to give. Joining us now, Betty Lou Souter from Community Care. Welcome to the program, Betty Lou.
Thank you, Mike. It's my pleasure to be here.
This season, Christmas season, December, is a very important month for your clients at Community Care. I imagine there are some changes to the way some things are being done this year because of the pandemic.
Oh, certainly, Mike, and it's been a challenge from the very beginning. I mean, it's hard to believe that we're in it. When we started, we thought, well, this is going to last for 6 weeks, and here we are 10 months later. So early on, early in the fall, we decided that we were going to have to adapt our programs. And we used to give out toys at Christmas, and we used to give out vouchers, which
Yes.
we were still giving out the vouchers, but toys, we decided we had to make a concrete decision. Because we help upwards of 3,000 children, 3,000 families, and when you start looking at the number of kids that are under the age of 12, and the toys and the touch and the organization and things like that, it just wasn't physically possible to do it. So we thought that this year we would give them a voucher. For $50 a child, which is about the equivalent of what they would receive worth of toys when they came to the office. And so it's worked out extremely well. The parents are thrilled that they have the opportunity to do this.
They can make the decision themselves on what toy they end up buying.
Absolutely, and so we're spreading the joy. We want to make sure we spread the joy and nothing else, and we want to keep everybody safe. I know other organizations on a much smaller scale than ours have the ability to do it, but ours was so massive, we had to make a decision. And the response from the donors has been positive, and also the response from the recipients has been positive. We have been distributing our Christmas program now for the last couple of days, and people are thrilled to get the vouchers and have the ability to go to the store and get what their children really want and put it under the tree.
It takes some of the pressure off of the purchaser, the donor as well, on shopping and looking for the right toy for that age group. Can people still sponsor a family?
Well, still sponsoring the family is tough at this point because the turnaround time, but there's still lots of family. We're still registering, so you can still create that magic for people if you would call the office. And we have to be patient because we're busy, and somebody called me today and just saying that how hard it was to get through, but we just ask that you persevere to get through because it's really important, because we'll be registering clients for another week or so, and we want to make sure that nobody in St. Catharines does without this year. And it takes a community to make that happen, Mike, and a very caring community and compassionate community that we live in. And we're very fortunate that we do. Between St. Catharines and Thorold, our clients are well looked after. We don't do it alone. We're certainly the person in the middle. We're the middleman that helps the donor get it to where it needs to be.
Will we see the barrels out this year?
Oh, the barrels are out. Trust me, the barrels are everywhere. We were just doing a count for food. Once again, when the food comes in, we have to quarantine it for 72 hours, and then we have to process it. So there's a little bit more complicated. It's not as in and out as it used to be. So the barrels are out, and the truck was picking them up today. You know what's really interesting, Mike? In the last couple of weeks, people have been doing little individual neighborhood food drives. And they're building up into a really big food drive. And of course, we're coming up to the Great Holiday Food Drive, and it's the Great Holiday Food Drive Express. So there's lots of opportunities for people to give back. And we're just making sure that if there's a barrel around, if you put a couple of things in the barrel, that's going to make a difference to somebody. And I'm not worried just about Christmas and the next few weeks, because there's spirit of giving, as you identified Giving Tuesday. It's coming up after that's going to be, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm pretty anxious about it, to be honest. I'm not alone. My colleagues across Canada that I talk to through the National Food Banks of Canada, everybody is concerned about the same thing. It's not today, it's not tomorrow, it's starting into 2021. Where are we going to be? So if there's anything that's left over at this time of year at Christmas, when the giving slows down and it goes to a crawl, traditionally it goes to a crawl, we're going to be well positioned to help people, well into the new year. So,
do you think the government will step up with a large donation like they did back at the beginning of the pandemic?
They have stepped up a couple of times, and they've also helped us purchasing meat, not purchasing, but donating meat from various places, protein that we've never had the ability to distribute before. And I'm very confident that there's ongoing opportunities from the federal government through Food Banks Canada down to Feed Ontario, which happens to the food banks that are part of that network. And the Feed Ontario, as a member of Feed Ontario, which is the provincial office of connected to Food Banks Canada, there's certain criteria that you have to follow, Mike, and you have to be accredited, and the guidelines are really strict, and there's one in each community, and I'm very proud to say that in St. Catharines, it's community care. In St. Catharines and Thorold, it's community care. If you go to Welland, it's the Hope Centre. Niagara Falls, it's Project Share, Port Cares. We all are accredited, and we have to follow the really strict guidelines. So it gives a comfort level, a strong comfort level to the donor, knowing that everything is followed in keeping with Health Canada and all of those things. So that's why they put these accreditations on them. And there's one in each community. So
What are the most needed food items right now?
well, it's interesting you say that because it changes from day to day. If I go on on your show today and say we're in need of, tomorrow I'll be inundated with what it is. And then tomorrow it'll be something else. So basically at this time of year, one of the things that we never seem to get enough are the large cans of juice, and pure juice, as pure as you can get, and the canned fruits and things like that, because the non-perishables are not around like they were in the summertime, because we had tons of non-perishables in the summertime, but we don't have those right now.
Right.
So obviously, particularly on days like today when we realize that Christmas is a-coming and the weather is changing dramatically. So the non-perishables are a challenge. So, the perishables are a challenge. So we encourage canned fruit, and there's lots of healthy canned fruit that you can have.
Yes.
And at Christmas time, you would like to make sure that everybody has stuffing on their table, everybody has the ability to have cranberries, and all what's on your Christmas table are the kinds of things that we would like to make sure that everybody has on their Christmas table.
Perfect. Betty Lou, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about the need in this season. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike.